right now it's 25 degrees out here. In just a couple days time, it might be almost 50 in the middle of February. That's not a stable climate. That is one that is in massive fluctuation because it is experiencing all kinds of energy because of all the carbon in the atmosphere. And I realize that the president just decided that that's not really a threat. It's not a threat to our health the way that it had been determined in 2009, and that therefore we're gonna take the teeth out of the EPA, not allow them to enforce the regulations that were in place. In fact, we're probably going to deregulate everything about our carbon emissions so that we can have more fossil fuels being burned, because that makes him richer, because he's heavily invested in fossil fuels himself. But that's not a good outcome for us. Right now, the most cost-effective means for generating energy in our country, right, is through solar and wind. Most cost-effective thing. We do need to support that with better infrastructure. We need to have a better power grid, so we need to have a plan to do that. And we should, and we can do that. But what the president has just done has made a lot of uncertainty for the entire nation. So now each state is going to have to do it itself. It's not going to have a cohesive plan to address climate change. It's not going to have a cohesive plan to make sure that the energy generation is meeting our demand and giving us better health outcomes. And New York State's passed the CLCPA, that's Climate Leadership and Community Protection Act. That was back in 2019, and that set goals for limiting, among other things, for limiting carbon emissions so that we could have better outcomes, but still meet the demand of the energy need, of our energy needs and our growing energy needs. We have that in place. Now we have to do more to support it. And I know that the incumbent state senator for the 54th district for the Finger Lakes, she's not going to do that. She would just be happy to go ahead and say, let's put on some more natural gas power plants. Let's do some coal power plants, I'm sure. Never mind that could be damaging to our lakes, damaging to our area, damaging to our health, because that's what she would consider as easy. But it's no longer the easy thing to do because it's not as cost effective. We need a state senator for the 54th that is going to take into consideration actual climate science, be able to meet the demands of the future and the present, and balance all of our needs so that we can have a better plan to improve our energy infrastructure, to make sure that our renewables are up to speed, and that we're investing in these things the way we should have been doing it since the 80s. And by the way, the last time this kind of deregulation happened at the federal government, back in the 80s under Ronald Reagan. Had that not happened, we would be so much farther along with renewable energies right now. We wouldn't be worried about it as much. We would have had better solutions, things that we would have been developing over the past 40 years. Imagine that. Imagine if we didn't have to worry so much about the carbon emissions, because we had, back in the past, done the responsible thing, done the right thing for both ourselves and our environment and for our future generations. Isn't that what you want from people who are serving you in your legislature? That's how I'm going to be serving you in the state senate once I get elected this year. All right. Thanks very much for listening. Take care.